Good morning, people. You join me, ADG, and here I am yet again on Gran Turismo. Yes, it's an addiction. I never even liked this game when I first started playing it, and now I can't stop playing it. Anyway, there's a couple of new time trials up. I always enjoy a bit of a time trial. I know it don't make for the best videos in the world, just because you're watching one car drive round. It's not the most entertaining, but I will try and do my best to keep it entertaining and try and get in a decent time. So, we're looking at a 40. Well, it must be Brands Hatch in there, I'm going to say. I thought it was the full track. So, I'm going to say 40 seconds is quick round the GP track. So, it's the Indy track, which means that I can do a lot of laps in not much time. So, we'll quickly watch the replay of the guy who set the first and fastest time. See if there's anything I can pick up from what he's done, and then have a go at it myself, basically. Quite handy, these replays. If you never watched them, they are worth a bit of a watch if you're interested in getting somewhere near the top. I've never personally got in the top. I don't think I've ever been in the top 10 in one of these time trials, but I've certainly got myself close a few times. But I can never find that extra little bit. Anyway, we'll pause it quickly, change the view, get all the info up so I can see what gear he's in and everything else. We're all in the same car. There's no tuning by the look of it. So I should be able to basically use his lap as a reference for my own. Running quite wide on the exit. Actually a little bit off the curves on the apexes, so something to note. Again, running the curve on the exit as much as possible there. Flat through early braking, get it all gathered up, ready for a nice clean last corner. So the surprising thing when I watch these videos back is that, I know this might sound a bit silly, but they never look that quick. But I guess it don't look that much quicker than any other lap, because it isn't. It's only marginally quicker, but it's it always looks beatable, is what I'm trying to say. Right, I've only got one Group 2 car. Is that the right car? Does it matter which car you pick? It does. So what's everyone else used? Bear with me just a minute. Looks like most people have used this Ray Brig NSX concept, so I might buy myself one of those. As I don't think I've got one of those. No, I haven't. Right, so you have to bear with me again. I'll go to Brand Central. What make was it? NSX, so it'd be Toyota. Over to Asia. And where is it? Ah, right in front of me. What am I on about? Toyota NSX. I've gone blank. What's an NSX? Nissan NSX? Oh my god, what is it? I've gone completely blank. It's a Honda NSX, that's it. That was worrying. Right, so hopefully there's Group 2 on the NSX in here, or something with NSX in the title. So it's that one people have been using. Let's get that car then. How much is that going to cost me? Just in the 800,000, you know. Good job I've got plenty of money. Did that say £2.49 to buy with money? What the hell? You soon spend a fortune if you're buying every car in this game. Yeah, I want to get in it now. Come on, I'm boring myself here. Right, so if you've stuck with me so far, sorry about those first couple of minutes. We'll go back on time trial, load it all up again, and see what we can do. So I'm looking for a 40-second lap, or as close as I can get to it. Hard tyres. Why do they always put you on hard tyres? Makes it so much more difficult. I said that guy that I watched his lap didn't look particularly brilliant, or particularly fast, should I say. Looked like a good lap, but not. Looked like he missed a few apexes and possible places to improve. But then at the same time, I haven't driven it myself yet, so we'll see. It might be a real handful to drive this. As you can see, I've never driven it before. I've just bought it. Turn the TC off. Might go back on depending on how I deal with it. Well, let's have a go. Straight onto a flying lap with these. Rear end definitely wants to go, mate, without the TC on. So I'll have to bear that in mind. Try and keep it under control. Too early on the brakes into the first corner. Hit the apex quite nicely though. Try and roll it around with as much mid-corner speed as possible. This is my aim, not maybe for this lap, but talking myself what I should be, talking myself through what I should be doing really, not what I'm doing. Early on the brakes, get turned in. Feels like you just go forever if you don't get hard enough on the brakes. There you just keep overshooting that corner more and more unless you get the braking done at the exact right point. Too early on the brakes there, I'm rolling in too much. So I've done the 42.1 as my first time, which isn't too bad, but I've got 2 seconds to find straight away, that tells me. And 2 seconds round a short track like this is not the easiest to find. We'll just see if we can get neater and neater and gain the time slowly but surely. I've got a cap between my legs by my pedals. Doesn't help, but unless it starts scratching me, I'm just going to ignore it. Very inquisitive, my cat. Never really leaves us alone. Always wants to know what we're up to. Whoa, a bit of oversteer as I tried to get on the power. A bit too quickly. So after the first few laps, it feels okay. There's this car, it's quite planted because of the amount of downforce it's got, so it's not that difficult to drive. A bit hard to get on the power coming out of the corners without losing the rear, but that's for me to deal with my right foot and get used to. It's certainly a bit more sensitive than the Group 3 cars without traction control on. Anyway, let's try and push on for a faster one. 41.8 I've got down to. I'm in no rush to do this, but the faster the better. I don't want to be here all day at the same time. Running that curb a little bit on the exit. Quick glance at the bottom, it's gained me a little bit of time. The braking into there is the crucial bit. That's where that guy gained all his time, probably on the exit of the last corner. It's the one that's proving to be trickier so far. So a little improvement on my time there. Trying to just keep it nice and smooth on the exit so I can plant my foot as early as possible everywhere. Trying to keep the steering as minimal as possible to not upset the back end. Nice and smooth, feed the wheel back out as smoothly as you feel it, feed it into the corner. Saying that, I have a moment of oversteer. I'm definitely losing time into the first corner. I could definitely brake later than I am. It's just habit braking where I do because of the just so used to looking out for the braking markers and not necessarily driving this category of car. It gives me opportunity to brake that little bit later, does this car. Running the curb quite well again on the exit. Really try and get it slowed down and hooked up to this apex so I can get on the power as early as possible. Don't know if that's a better technique than taking the wide line. Just trying to keep it neat and tidy through that last one. Trying to roll it in a bit faster, but I lost the back end. So that's a waste of lap. I've lost too much time already. If you enjoy these kind of things, hit the like button please. Do me a massive favour, especially as I haven't got a job at the moment, so I might as well try and increase my YouTube channel as much as possible. If you haven't already as well, hit subscribe if you want to keep watching what I'm up to. I try and cover more or less every game other than F1, because that's a massive thing in itself. I could spend all my time just on F1 if I got into it, so I don't bother really with the F1 games. But yeah, I do quite a lot of videos of all sorts of different racing games and simulators, if you want to call it that. And I like to think I'm half decent. I'm certainly not the best in the world at any of these games, but I like to think I'm half decent and possibly worth watching if you're new to all this and you're trying to improve. Anyway, I'll shut up and try and get a decent lap in. And the reason why I'm actually driving round, not here just to waffle on. Getting a little bit deep into Druids, I think it is. I always forget the corner names. Is that Graham Hill Bend? Can't remember. Coming out of there in third, this time third gear, trying to get the traction down earlier. I'm actually going to try fourth gear next lap, see if I can just plant my foot that little bit more and gain more speed and momentum as I come out of the corner, rather than just trying to get the acceleration all of a sudden and expecting to get the traction, which is a difficult bit. So try and eliminate that factor as much as possible by short shifting through the gears basically, and using the torque of the engine rather than the high revs and the acceleration of it, if you like, for want of a better term. I didn't come out in fourth either, came out in second, but got a decent line going in, so felt right to do. Right, I'm miles down on my lap time now, so I need to try and get back to somewhere like what I was at the beginning. In the first couple of laps of driving this car, I'm actually getting worse by the feel of it the more I drive it. So it looks like that bit of oversteer, you actually kind of need to be fast. So I'm trying to avoid it at all costs, and it's probably actually slowing me down a little bit by trying to avoid that little bit of oversteer everywhere. I need to try and use it as much as I can in a way. Used it there and I've actually gained a bit of time. So slid my way out of the last corner, and maybe that's the way to drive this car. This is the thing, when you jump in a new car, you've got to try all sorts to see what works. It's not just one recipe fits all cars. There's all sorts of driving techniques that go on between the different drivetrains as well. Front wheel drive and rear wheel drive and all the rest of it, four wheel drive, all require a slightly different technique of driving, especially if you're on a different game like Project Cars or even Dirt Rally or something like that with a different... I drifted it into the apex, tried to get back on it to get the power out, but it just drifted me even more. I was still turning. Yeah, can't remember what I was saying now. I distracted myself with that, having to catch that. Right, I'm just going to cruise around this lap. Oh, it's with no ends, with no end to these things because it's a time trial. You've got to give yourself a little break every now and again, otherwise you can drive yourself a little bit crazy. And as you can see, I'm not really improving either, so I need to just stop for a second, think about where I'm going wrong, and actually address, you know, the issues that I'm causing myself around this track. If I don't ever stop and analyse what I'm doing wrong, then I'll just continue to do it, and inevitably my lap times might improve just by pure fluke and practice, but I'm not actually really picking up what I'm doing wrong. I'm just improving by, like I say, by sheer practice, if nothing else. I always try and analyse at some point what I'm actually doing wrong and where I'm losing the time, and that's crucial to actually trying to get those fast times. You can drive around all day just trying to beat your time, but if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, are you ever going to beat it? That's basically what I'm saying. Oh, I could have stayed on the power there. I lifted a little bit mid-corner. Thought it was going to send me a bit wide, so I lifted. Big kick of oversteer again. It's hard to avoid in this car. I might even go to the embarrassing, well, not for some people, but for myself, embarrassing act of putting the TC on and seeing if I'm any faster. Now I've set a bit of a benchmark time as well of 41.444. I definitely want to get somewhere near the 41 mark, knowing that the fastest times are in the 40s. Otherwise I'm too far off really. More than a second down is not what I'm after really. I want to get somewhere near the fastest time. Otherwise it's a bit pointless having a go. Well, unless you're just curious about how fast you are. The second corner's losing me quite a bit of time. I feel like I've just got to roll around forever. I can't get on the power, I can't do anything. I've just got to roll the whole apex and just wait to get back on the power and try and do it as neatly as possible when I get the chance. Oh, I've got a little bit deep into there. I was up on my time until then as well. Coming out of there in third's done me a treat there. So I've beaten my time there, that's good. Again, would I have beaten that time just continuously driving round, analysing what I was doing wrong on the first corner, has gained me time straight away, realising that I need to get some kind of power down as early as possible coming out of there, because you're just rolling around the apex for forever it feels like. So just the little fine details that you start picking up when you're doing lap after lap as well, where you start realising that that's where I'm losing the time, that's where I could address there, that's where I'm on the brakes a little bit too early or too late, and you start picking up these things, and this is where you can really start tuning into it. You've got to pay attention as well though, and again, pay attention to what you're actually doing, not just driving around. You're trying to improve. So I'm looking to brake even later and carry the braking into the apex even more into that one, so I'm not rolling for quite as long mid-corner. I have gained a little bit of time, but I've lost it through there. Bit sketchy through that fast bit. Back end wants to kind of step out on you. I've not beaten my time, but it's not too bad. Not far off. Again, holding on the brakes for a little bit longer until we get right to the apex there, and then trail braking, which means just coming off the brakes slowly but surely as you roll it into the apex. But you're still actually braking all the way to the apex, but you're coming off the brakes. So when you actually get there, you've got no real braking effect going on, and you're just free to get back on the power. I actually use right foot braking when I'm track driving, left foot braking on rally games. But generally, I don't see any real advantage personally over left foot braking when you're on track. I've been right foot braking for my whole sim racing career, if you like, and I've never felt it's caused me a problem, and I've never felt that people that left foot brake are faster than me either. So it's been, you've got to be quick between the pedals, don't get me wrong, but if you're one of these that wants to right foot brake but you keep getting told that you should be using your left, then just do whatever's comfortable for you. Don't conform to what other people do. Whatever you feel you're best at doing and you can perfect over time, then stick with it, and you will get faster and faster using that technique rather than trying to switch all the time or trying to use a different technique that doesn't feel right just because someone's told you it's faster. It isn't the right way to go, really. Everyone's different, everyone has a different wheel as well and a different setup. Even if everyone's got the same wheel, everyone could set it up slightly differently. So everyone's got their own version of sim racing going on, if you like. That's how I think of it anyway. So can I beat this time? I keep getting close, and then I'll end up losing it here, there and everywhere. Again, braking right into the apex till I get turned right into it. If I carry on this lap as I am going, I might get myself into the 40s. Come on. Oh, a bit slow on the exit. I'll gain time. Come on, get me into the 40s. It's going to be close. No, not quite. I'm still at 41.0 now though, so I've improved quite a bit in the last 10 minutes or so. If you've never actually given these time trials a go, just do what I'm doing and just have a go and see how you can do. It's not the most entertaining thing in the world because there's no other cars to try and overtake or anything, but just for getting used to a car and attacking a track, it's good fun. Driving as fast as you possibly can and getting as most out of the car as you can. You start feeling what other people must feel as well when they're doing fast laps, and you think, oh, can't have felt much different to what I did if I've put in a competitive time. And then you start to realise what it takes to actually be one of these guys that's ridiculously quick. And you start realising with a bit of practice it is kind of achievable. Not talking the fastest in the world here, but just in some of these events you can do quite well. That's all I'm on about, really. Right, anyway, let's go for a genuine attempt before I go and try the other time trial. I don't know how much longer I can go around Brands Hatch. Like I say, it's only a small track, so not a lot to it. I'll come back, I think there's another 14 days or something left on these, so I'll come back another time and try and improve these times that I've set, but for a first go, I'm quite happy so far. I've lost all my time there with the oversteer through there as I caught the curb. I'll give myself one more lap after this one. Give myself a chance by actually shutting up as well. Done it. I've got under the 40. Yes. Now I'm happy with that. That was my aim. I kind of want to back out now and see where I've come. I'm gonna 40.931. I'm happy with that. Like I say, how long's that? How long have I been on? Legendary drive. I even got a trophy for it. Nice. So 40.931. Ooh, that's not too bad. 174th. So I'm quite happy with that. Like I say, I'll come back another time and try and beat it. Ooh. So on my friends list I've got Dark Ralph, as you can see at the top there, that's actually faster. Done it in a different car as well. Interesting, that. Anyway, right, I'm going to leave that one where it is, 174th.